Hi, my name is Scott, and I started this YouTube channel dedicated to dyslexia. Just kind of bear with me. This is my first video, so it's not how the video quality is, but the content of the video. I am a dyslexic, so I have a long experience with it. My first video, I'd like to discuss students in middle school. This is where I discovered, my interest, really my passion. So before I get to how I did that in middle school, I want to go back to when I was in grade school and how I got to my experiences, through to the middle school. So first we're going to start with second grade. Now, in second grade, I remember that the teacher would, of course, ask everybody to open up their books, and everyone was going to read a paragraph. And of course, she asks, who wants to start? And literally, my hands are glued to the table. And, she'd call on one or two, and next thing I know, she's calling my name out. Well, I start reading, and it's embarrassing. So then she'll say, I remember this clearly, Susie next to me, the librarian, not only finishes my paragraph, but she continues to finish the whole page. So that was kind of my first experience and first embarrassing moment where I realized at that point that I was not a good reader and I had something going on. So then we skip to the fifth grade. Now I'm in fifth grade, and the teacher decides to call a teacher-parent meeting. So he gets my parents together, and he tells them that I can't see. So my parents, of course, had no idea. I'd gone through regular school testing, but they took me to a professional, and sure enough, I didn't just have just a slight eye problem. I had a major eye vision problem. So not only am I dyslexic, but at this point, I can't see. So that ends up bringing me way behind everybody else. So I didn't really start even learn reading, writing, and spelling until they discovered this about my eyes. So now, seventh grade comes out, middle school. And they have these things called electives. And they had woodworking, sewing, graphics, and I believe it was culinary arts too. So I elected to take two, which was the graphics and woodworking. Well, this changed my life. And the reason why is because all of a sudden I had an interest in using machinery, my hands, and it became my passion. I was so passionate about it because up to this point, all you're doing in school is learning reading and writing and spelling. That's it. So I developed skill with machinery and working with my hands. So then it was time to go into high school. Well, at the time, there was a brand new high school being built. And this high school was a vocational high school where they had trades. They would bring you in, they had the trade, they had all the academics with it. So I enrolled, and in the first year, they want you to sample many of the classes, the different trades. So I started sampling a few of the trades. And I was also introduced to a lady, her name was Beverly Lydiard. She was the head of special education. She could see that I was at the bottom of the class, that I couldn't read, write, or spell past X grade. So she changed the curriculum for me. She knew that my passion was for printing. So what ended up happening was I spent most of my years in two classes, two trades, printing trade and the auto body trade, and learned both of them. And the reason why was because I was learning to read, I was learning to spell, I was learning to write, all within those trades, because I loved what I was doing. I was like, okay, I'm in the printing trade, and I'd be running the press all the time, and you know, I'm going to go over exactly what I was learning. So this is an option for students in middle school, okay? I know that a lot of you already know all about vocational schools, and you know, you may have already had an opinion on them, but I want to show you, I printed out a sheet on what just a couple of the programs that are in a vocational school. Now, I'm not here for any vocational school, okay? I'm here for the student. I'm here for that dyslexic student who's really struggling, okay? This is for them. If you're a middle school student right now, I want you to see this. I want you to see that you could go into culinary arts, web design, you know, hospitality, carpentry, plumbing, robotics, automotive repair. This is just a sample. You know, whatever your passion is, that's really what's important, okay? Because I know if you have an interest in, you know, horses or cosmetology, you know, it could be anything. You know, there's a school out there that has your program, okay, or close to it. And at this point, you know, when you're got something that you're really excited about, you're going to do research on it. You're going to learn about it. You're going to learn everything about it, okay? And mine was printing, and I'm going to show you this. this here, this was the printing, okay? So in the printing, I learned photography, page layout, math, because math and page layout, you had to put it in certain positions. So I had math involved, color, ink, all sorts of, design into this where you're creating colors. In machinery, machinery is really, really my passion. I love the way machinery works, the way it runs, what it produces. So all this came in play. So naturally, if I want to run machinery, I'm going to learn. There's also another thing here I forgot. What history? You got history. The history of the machine, the history of printing. It's unlimited at that point. Okay. Parents, you should at least look at this. Students, you should look at this. Teachers, I know that a lot of you probably already understand this, but that one student out there that's never seen this, this is an option for you. You should look into this. And I want to tell you right now, okay, the student that's out there, and I'm looking right at you right now, the student that's out there, okay, who thinks they're alone, and I'm going to tell you, it's not your fault. Don't think that this is your fault. Because you can't read or write or spell, it's not your fault. Okay? So what you need to do is you need to turn that into a positive passion and interest. Okay? And I'm going to show you something else here because I was just telling you. Okay? I know this is simple, and you've already seen this. Talk to students about it. But there's that one that I want you to see this. Okay? Okay? When you've got an interest and a passion, okay, look at it. It turns into fun right off the bat. Okay? When you're having fun, okay, then you're going to start to read. You're going to start to write. You're going to start to learn the math. You're going to start to learn the history and the hands-on. Okay? You're going to love it. This is what you want. When you're dealing in school and you're just crunching the books, it doesn't work. Okay? Not for dyslexia. Because all you're thinking about are the words and the sentences and that you can't read and it's taking you forever. You need to start looking at this. Okay? Success is the student's learning. Okay? This is it. And then as you can see down here, if the teachers, I understand you have a certain curriculum, but if you start to develop one, okay, with the student's interest, you're going to see a big change. Okay, this is really important, all right? This has become my new passion, to educate as many people as I can, and many of them already are educated, but there's that one student, and I know I'm repeating myself, that one parent, that one teacher. My intention at this point is to post more material, more of my experiences, all dedicated to dyslexia. So what I'm hoping here is that you will comment and give me suggestions what topics you'd like me to talk about. Okay. I also want to let you know that how much more experience that I have than just myself. I've been married 35 years. My wife is also dyslexic. She can't read, write, or spell. Okay, she is the most caring, giving person I've ever met. And she's the heartbeat of my soul. So between the two of us, we've raised 2 children. They're in their 30s now. And I also have, I'm going to make videos on how we handled raising 2 children in the school system when, for us, ourselves, we couldn't read, write, or spell. So please comment, subscribe to the channel. There'll be many more videos. I know they're not perfect, but it's the content. And And thank you very much.